Hello everyone, hello voters mainly. Welcome to the HGP's press conference. Today we chose to not rally because of time limitations due to illness of a person and me needing to go to hospital for something. I apologize for that, but we will be having this press conference to answer some of the questions people may have for our party this election. So, if you have any questions, feel free to say "I" in chat, and you can ask your question both in chat and/or in here, and I will answer them as soon as I can. So, the first question is for StarCubed. Go ahead and ask your question. What pleat do I have to WolvHaven? That's a good question, because let me translate pleat for a second. I apologize. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I just didn't know the translation of that. I pledge to WolvHaven that I will be making myself, and as my party, will be standing for the object to make sure Parliament is being run honestly, that there is a lot of attention for greenery and the environment, and we also find it very important to make sure that we do a good job in that, achieving that. We pledge to do our best at all points in that process. Are you satisfied with that answer, or do you have any follow-up questions? Okay, next question, Bromley. You can ask it both here and in chat, whatever you like most.
Do you prefer top or bottom?
I do not know. I cannot answer that because I simply don't know. That is a very strange question for a political party press conference, by the way. Okay, MindBuilder, go ahead.
Autobus22, you say in your manifesto that you want to introduce more green spaces in the city. Could you elaborate on your plan of action to carry out that policy?
The plan of action to carry out that policy is to propose bills which will be in support, and will plan out how the green spaces will be able to look and how it will be planned and introduced in a manner that is not damaging or anything or very annoying to people building in the city. Building green spaces itself is important for various reasons, the environment being one, but also social safety and social happiness is a very important reason why we think it's important to make more green spaces in the city. So we will fight for that by proposing bills which will actively stimulate more green spaces in the cities in various ways. For instance, bills to propose parks and certain projects with green spaces and such, go on, etc., etc. Does that answer satisfy you?
Yes.
Okay, Bromley, you had a second question? Okay, then we have... does anyone else have a question? Okay, StarCube, go ahead and ask the question. What problems are you going to address and how are you going to solve it? That's a very interesting question, because the general parties right now are in election, and alone we may not be in a position to even get a majority to solve anything, which is a reason why we need votes. We are going to address certain issues, which, as I said, will be greenery and park spaces in WolvHaven City, and possibly also in planning for Fifth Haven. We will also be addressing the Green Build in support of the PFG's statements on that, and we will be addressing multiple issues in safety, security, and social happenings on the server to stimulate those subjects in Parliament. Does that satisfy your question? Does any of you have another question for us? Okay, my daughter, Hinwapun asked, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Come on. Don't, please. Stark, my daughter, yes, what is your question?
Autobus, your party has not made any single comment on the establishment of a Gardelian council since your party's creation. Could you clarify what the standpoint of your party is on this issue?
That is an interesting question, because we are currently in debate within the party to see what our stance on that is, because there is some split in what different members in the party think about this specific subject. We are currently discussing the issues, and we can make a statement that we are likely for multiple party, for a Gardelian government that's separated, but under certain conditions that make sure that it cannot get out of hand, like previous separated parliaments have done on the server. Does that answer satisfy your question?
Well, I'd like to know if you could come to a conclusion on that after the election.
I cannot give a hard conclusion on this subject right now, but I can say that we are for a Guardian Council, but there is a few buts in that for us that we still need to sort out, and I sadly cannot answer that right now because of the hospital visit earlier. I was going to discuss that today, but I had to go to hospital. I apologize. We will be sorting that out, and we will try to, before the voting begins, release a statement on this subject. Does that satisfy your question?
Yes.
Does anyone else have a question?
I do.
Yes, Bromley?
What types of memes do you enjoy?
Could you please repeat that?
What types of memes do you enjoy?
I mostly enjoy putting the sentence "Sighing hurts my eyes" on Axton's face memes. Does that satisfy your question?
No, it does not.
How does it not?
I don't know, I just wanted to reject what you were saying.
Because memes! Memes! Okay, that's enough. I got an interesting question. I don't think I can answer that, Space Invader. I don't. What is the meaning of life? Yeah, I don't think I can answer that because there's no common consensus in current science for that. I'm sorry.
Okay, I have another question.
Sure, go ahead and ask it.
Do you enjoy H3 Productions?
Could you please say that again, because your sound is rather low and I couldn't hear that? Could you? I do not have any clue what H3 Productions is. I am sorry. I will look into it if you want me to look at H3 Productions. But I do not have any clue what it is at this moment in time. Do you want me to look at it right now? Sure. I have a feeling this is going to be very awkward right now. But I'll look at it. H3. I actually have clicked on that link before, as my YouTube shows. Let's see. No, that is not something. I don't think I really enjoyed that, to be honest. It's not really the kind of content I watch on YouTube, personally. Sorry. I tend to watch gameplays on YouTube and not channels like this. Does that answer satisfy your question? Even if you don't agree with it, yeah, I can understand you're angry about that if you really like H3H3. Okay, who has got another question? Because someone in chat says there is another question. Does anyone have another question for me to answer?
Okay, I do.
Oh god, yes.
Are you going to let me up or let me down?
Well, I don't know if I'll let you up or let you down, but I'm never gonna give you up, let you down. She just got rickrolled. Anyway, does anyone have any more serious questions? Last call. Star Cubed, yes. Go ahead and ask your questions. Who are your main rivals in the election? I don't think I really have rivals right now, because it's really clear the NCP won't be getting many votes based on their performance, I'd say, in the debate. So I don't really see any rivals currently in Parliament.
Okay,
I do see a lot of positions for collaboration in Parliament this election.
I have another question for you that's actually serious this time.
Okay, I have 3 questions waiting right now. Please, one at a time. Sure. Go ahead and ask Romley.
Okay, will you answer another non-serious question?
No. Okay. I just contradicted myself there because that was a non-serious question. Great. Can't really do anything about that. Okay, Silverwolf asks, what is your response to the NCP claims on your performance in Parliament? My response simply is that even though I've been not so active, I've actually responded by moving someone else at the first spot in Parliament, guaranteeing that even if you just get 1 seat, which we likely will get, that the Parliament will still stay running for the HGP. I should be back active now. You do know that I will go to hospital sometimes and have some issues with my health to sort out, but I should be active enough to represent the party as well in Parliament right now. And in the past, I can still say my performance in Parliament was still better than the NCP's, because I had 3 bills, which of 2 passed, and the NCP had 2 bills, which none of them passed. So I think I answered the performance issue with that quite well. Does that satisfy your question? Okay, what is my opinion on Bob's allocations? Do you have any... Okay, I'll wait till you're finished typing before answering that. The response I have to that is quite simply, if they're calling me the dishonest and not so green party, I can't really answer to that because I have been honest with my party ever since we started the party. I have not lied, there has not been lies, and we have, as much as possible, except for the unforeseen inactivity due to health reasons, which is sad, and which I also find very sad that I couldn't be there for that time. I have fulfilled all promises I've made, and I have or am working on these promises that I have made, and I have not lied about any promises I have made so far. I have sticked with my views and with the party views for the past session and the coming Parliament season. Okay, Endermed, you have a question as well. Go ahead and ask it if you can. What do I think about Mr. D's nuts? No answer, I'm told. Bromley a second ago, that I won't be answering any non-serious question.
You don't know about the actual, like, 15-year-old kid who was running as D's nuts, or trying to run as D's nuts in the U.S. election?
No, I am not too informed in the US or UK elections, to be honest. I am mostly informed on the elections in my own country. Okay, we have a question from a party member himself. Number asks, what is my opinion on the WolvHaven party? My opinion on the WolvHaven party is not relevant right now because, simply put, they're not in this current general election season. I do not agree with most of the viewpoints of the WolvHaven party based on past experiences, but they are not a bad party, and they certainly do a better job than the current right-wing parties that are in this election. Okay, Silverwolf asks, what is your reaction to the PFG announcing that it will most likely not form a coalition with the HDP? My response to that is I'm quite saddened with that, because I think we have the most similar views in Parliament right now. The PFG is the most consistent, together with the HDP, in their views, and the most similar in their views as shown by past Parliament votes and as shown by the past Politichooser. So I find that saddening, and I hope the PFG will be willing to form a coalition if the HDP were to win. It's fine if they don't want to in the other way around. We respect that choice, but we will ask the PFG to form a coalition if the HDP were to win the election. Okay, what are my upcoming bills for Parliament? Asked by Starcubed. That is a hard question. There are a few bills currently being discussed in the HDP. One about trials, actually. There is a bill going for a park in a certain location in the city, and I will repropose the bill for screenshots upon applying, because I realized so many people that have responded to me since the Parliament meeting last time. Everyone found the bill so logical that I just assumed it was accepted, even though it wasn't. So I will repropose that bill as well. And there is one more bill which I cannot tell you anything about yet, that is being discussed in the HDP Parliament, in the HDP party. Sorry for that misspeak. Does that satisfy your question, Silver? And does that satisfy your question, Starcubed? And a little back, Anamat asked why so many people dislike my ass. Well, that's a rather weird question, because I don't think anyone on here has seen my ass.
No.
Does that satisfy your question?
It's supposed to be metaphorical, like not actual ass.
Oh, lol. Okay, you had another serious question, Bromley.
Okay, well, before we get on to that, I believe when he was saying ass, I believe he was referring to you. It was like, you know, attending.
I'm aware of that. I don't really want to answer the question. Well, I can answer it quite simply put, by that a little further in the past, I've done some things that some people don't like, and and being asked for advice or opinions, especially on buildings, I can seem a bit rude. That's not my intention. I intend to answer people if they ask opinions and such honestly, which is also part of my party views. We think honesty is very important, meaning we consider being nice, but we don't consider being nice as much as we consider honesty. Does that satisfy your question? And the Matt. Okay, Starcubed asks why we should vote for HDP instead of the PFG. The simple answer to that is that we have very similar views, and there is no clear winner between us two. though there is a slight difference in our priorities. My priorities personally for the HDP lie more in the environment and lie more in social structures and in safety. Well, for the PFG, the prioritization lies more in Gardelia and the Gardelian Council. But we both share very similar views, so it's just up to what you prefer in that sense. Does that satisfy your question?
You didn't answer my
Starcubed.
question.
Does that satisfy your question, Starcubed? I will get to your question after this. Oh, sorry. I was looking at Discord chat. Okay, thank you. Bromley, what is your question? I didn't intend to skip over any of your questions. I just looked at the Discord chat only and not at the other chat in Minecraft. What is your question, Bromley?
Okay, so my question is, what do you think of the parties that are participating in the general election this season?
Do you want me to give an opinion on all the parties? Because I don't know if that's very good for saying that right now out loud, because it may create a diversion or controversy around some parties. I'd rather not answer that question in this position, because that is not a very politically great move to do. But if you really do want to answer me, I can give a very simple answer for all of them. Okay, till you answer that, let me just quickly address that MindBuilder has stated. So basically, PFG focuses more on important issues and HGP focuses more on trivial issues. No, that is not true, because we have focused on security, and we have with the examiner bill, for instance, and with the bill to increase security for people, for the screenshots, and as well for the social aspect, we have we made a bill, the Sherlock Holmes bill, for more homes to everyone. So yes, we do actually support some really important causes in the social and security movements as well. Yeah, okay. Himrapoon says, why do you think people should vote for the HDP? The HDP is a general left-leaning party that is very honest. That is actually a standpoint for the party to not be dishonest about anything. We are very honest. We are for the environment, we are for security, we are for social aspects of the server. That is enough reason to vote for us, I think. And we have been consistent with that view for a long time. Superwolf asks, Grinder or Jacked? Neither, they both suck. Okay, Bromley, ask your question.
Okay, what is your opinion on shaders?
Considering I induced the whole shaders rage, I think there should be a separate channel in Discord for shader screenshots, and I think shaders are absolutely amazing both for recording and for screenshots, because it makes Minecraft look a lot better. Does that satisfy your question?
Sure.
Does anyone else have a question? I'll be looking in game now, and I'll be looking in Discord. I will answer one more question, so, and then we'll stop the meeting. So, Bromley, as you've had a lot of questions already, do you mind if I pick MindBuilder's question? Okay, I will be asking two questions then. I'll be asking Silverwolf's questions as well. I'll be asking all three. Fine. Would you say there's lack of confidence given the number of questions you have answered? I don't know on. No, I would not say there's lack of confidence in the HTTP. What I'd rather say is that due to the circumstances I am personally in right now, there have been some issues which have been delayed on being discussed within the party. It should all be sorted before the voting starts. If there's any stances left, we have I don't know on. The one stance I still cannot give a definitive answer on is the one where for the economic reset, which you've also heard in the debate, because I personally feel, and the members of my party feel, very split on that subject. Because for both in a leftist view, there is a serious thing to say for both sides. So that's a serious I don't know, and I guess I'll just go along with what the other parties in Parliament want on that issue, in this case. Because we cannot, within the party, reach a conclusion on that one specific issue. That does not mean we are unsure of our parliamentary choices and of what we want in Parliament. That just means there is one issue which we are divided on within the Parliament. And that means we cannot give a definitive answer on that. So no, there is not a lack of confidence in our party. Does that satisfy your question? Okay, Bromley, you had a question, and then I'll finish off with my builder's question after that, as the last question of this.
Okay, well, when you skip key cheats, I don't know, but yeah, what is your stance on cake and pie?
That they're both delicious and should be eaten in an extent that does not cause you obesity.
Good choice, I guess.
Okay, I'll quickly answer Silver's question. Hornet or jacked? Have you seen a hornet? Like, I mean, the actual insect. Have you actually seen one of those ones? No, I do get it. I know what it is. I know what it is. But have you actually seen one of those? Like, one of those insects, and like, I mean, the insects, not the program for dating. No, you shoot once. If you've seen it, I'm pretty sure you will stay away from the name Hornet, even in a application, for a long time. Yeah, I think the answer is pretty clear with that.
When I was in kindergarten.
Well, those are annoying too, but that doesn't hurt as much as a hornet.
It was in the fucking eyelid in kindergarten.
Okay, that hurts. I won't deny that hurts. Mind Builder, your question.
Could you explain the number of members in your party that primarily come from other servers?
Okay, let me actually get my party list, and I can explain why my party members actually decided to be in my party, as that doesn't have anything to do with other servers at all. Myself, I'm my party leader. I think it's pretty obvious I'd be my own party. I don't think I need to answer much on that. For Noodle Doodles, he seems to share a lot of my views and joined the party. He is not from another server as far as I'm aware. Ardal is from the MRT and joined here on a relative occasion and is here on most Parliament time, so he should be able to attend Parliament if he is an elected seat, which he likely will be if he gets 3 seats. He shares a leftist green perspective and also votes green in real life from his own statements. So I think it's fair that he chooses, if he chooses a party, that he chose HTP as his choice. Simply Vizierd, or Oakland, as some of you may remember, is from here. He has been on MRT a very, very, very long time ago, but I do not really recall anything of that. Camel Fantasy is the founding member, together with me, of the HGP, sharing the same opinions and sharing the same views on the most important subject at the time the party started. Tembin, number 101, and Laser are all members from here. There's only 2 members that came from the MRT in my party, and both of them have a valid reason to join and have a valid opinion that shares with mine for the most part. Does that satisfy your question?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask once more. Does anyone else have another question for me? And I'd like serious questions, please.
Question.
Go ahead. PFG. Say again?
Are you strong enough to open a pickle jar without a pot opener thing?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
But there are some manufacturers that make really annoying table jars that are actually really hard to get open, but I can't get them open without any tools. Starcubed, I already answered that question to someone else earlier. You'll be able to view back the stream and see my answer on that.
You just said that you could open a pickle
Romley,
jar
could you
without
please
any
up your
tools.
sound a tiny bit because I cannot hear you at all.
You said that you could open a pickle jar without tools, but then at the end you said you couldn't open a pickle jar without tools.
No, I said I can open a table jar or a pickle jar in this case without tools, and I always can. But there are some manufacturers that make it really tricky, but I still can open them.
Okay. How
Without
about
tools.
a ketchup bottle?
That's funny because I don't use a ketchup bottle. I have ketchup in a tube, like with toothpaste,
That's disgusting.
because that's the only brand of ketchup I can eat due to my allergies.
But that sounds disgusting. What if you mixed up your ketchup for toothpaste one day?
I don't think it's as easy to mistake your toothpaste for something that is kept in the, like, refrigerator.
But what if you were high one day and then you took...
Okay. This is not a serious question. This is not a serious question anymore. The Silver Wolf has asked me, what do you have to say to Bob's claim that you attendance in Parliament means you're useless, although you managed to get 2 bills passed? That's bollocks. That is simply bollocks, because I have been useful in Parliament this election, even though I wasn't there much. And I will be there the next general election season. I should be there the whole season. I should be able to make it to maybe one, not because of reasons, I should make it to pretty much all the parliamentary meetings next election season. I do plan to, with my party, have at least 3 bills every single session that have a very valid use.
Quality over quality.
And what I do think about the SGMP criticizing my party, I do not know of the criticism from the SGNP on my party, except for that they have said the dishonest and Green Party, like the NCP has in the past. Could you elaborate on what kind of criticism the SGNP has on the HDP? Silverwolf. Yeah, I already answered the NCP's criticizing, and basically already answered the question. It's just that the origin here is from a different party. I'd like to explain if I do not want to resign, and I will not be gone always. I will be here, and I've always have been here in longer periods of time. I've had some inactivities for reasons. I've had a burnout and a depression, which I left for a long time. And later, I have, like the past 1 month and a half, I've been active for 2 weeks again now, at least. But like for the past month, maybe month and a half, I've had a migraine attack at the start of that period, right after the last general elections. And I haven't really recovered from that till like 2 weeks ago, sadly. That shouldn't be too common, as I don't have such long comebacks from my migraines in usual occasions, and I have new medicines for the attacks now, and I seem to have shortened the amount of time it takes to come back from an attack very, very significantly. So I shouldn't have those kinds of inactivities again, and I will be here. Okay, Silkwolf has another question. I'm being bombarded with questions from you. I don't mind. It's fine. It's actually really good that you have a lot of questions for me, because that means I have a lot of stuff to answer and a lot of views to express for people to be able to vote on me if they agree with those views. And I'm waiting for you to type your question. Okay, based on what Bob asked in the meantime, do you have a definitive stance on an economy reset yet, or do you still agree with both sides? I still personally feel split, as I said earlier, and I still have party members on both sides of the argument for valid reasons. I do not know if I can. Starcube, would you please sit down? You may be in front of the camera right now for the stream. Same goes to Noodles. Okay, So your question was, what do you have to say about allegations by popular migrants are an excuse for you to spend time on the server? My response to that is quite simply that in that past month and a half, I haven't been on the MRT or any other server either because of my condition. I haven't really been able to be on the computer much that whole time. And there are people who can testify for that. And I can show my chat logs that I haven't in that time if you really need me to. And yes, I will actually attempt to search that if you really want me to. I think that is indeed enough questions now. I'm very thankful for everyone that was here today and asks so many good and so many troll questions to me. Could you please get your ass out of my face, Bromley? Okay, yeah, move, please. You're at, oh god. Yeah, I'm very thankful for everyone that was here and asked some very valid questions. You're creepy. Asked some valid questions to the HGP and some very invalid but still very funny questions to the HGP, and I'm very thankful for that. I hope I could clear up some stuff about the party, and I could clear up some stuff about the views and what we're going to do and what we plan to do in Parliament. Thank you for being here, and as always, vote HGP. Thank you.